Can't get this wrong. Can't get it wrong. Drives me nuts. All my students get this stuff wrong. It's so obvious. The strategy for the writing, the grammar questions is to look at the choices first. And this is one of the most just apparent, obvious grammar rules on the entire test. Look at these answer choices. They're all verbs, and we can classify them very quickly as singular and plural. Remember, singular verbs end in S, plural ones do not. So plural, singular, 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 right? Has, epitomizes, was, all singular. What do you think the answer is going to be? Probably the one that's different from the other three. So it's probably A. Now you got to read it. You got to make sure. Of course, the SAT could come up with some situation where this doesn't work, but so far, so good. All of these ones are like this. This is subject-verb agreement. So we just got to go and find a plural subject to make us really confident that we found the right answer here. So in Auguste Escoffier's 1903 cookbook titled Le Guide Culinaire, I don't speak French, the chef included over 5,000 dishes, including these things. I'm going to skip all this. Here we go. Let's start here. Such iconic French recipes, described in surprisingly brief detail in this book, well, epitomize the Victorian French cuisine Escoffier sought to preserve in his encyclopedic book. Why? Because we're talking about the recipes, right? So ignore this. Look at these comments, right? They're telling us we have a little bit of an interruption, so ignore it. Ignore it. The subject of the sentence is not going to be in there, right? So such iconic French recipes epitomize the Victorian French cuisine. That's it. Done. This rule is so consistent on the SAT, or at least on the SAT practice tests and the question bank, that you really cannot get this wrong. So no matter what the grammar question, you always want to be looking at the answer choices first to get your brain on the right track. Certain rules are really easy to recognize, and then once we're on that track, it's very hard to mess them up. At least we know what we're looking for. So this exact question is very likely to come up on the test. Obviously, different passage, different words, but this exact setup where if you look at them, you can classify every verb as plural or singular very quickly, and then one of them will be different. That's probably the answer. So learn this strategy. This is one of the worst mistakes you can make on the entire test, is getting something like this wrong.